Tonight we invite you to drift into the gentle saga of Hypsipyle, a tale of compassion and redemption. In this serene tale, you'll embark on a tranquil journey through the island of Lemnos, where Hypsipyle's choices to aid the Argonauts pave her path toward leadership and a heartfelt redemption. Allow the story to slowly unfurl, cradling you into a peaceful slumber. As you rest, if you find comfort in these ancient stories, feel free to subscribe to drift away with us again. Settle in and let the tale unfold. At the twilight of the Age of Heroes, the island of Lemnos lay enveloped in a mysterious serenity. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of amber and deep orange over the sea, whispers of past echoes lingered in the air. This tranquility belied the tension wrapping the island, for Lemnos bore the haunting memory of its turbulent history, a shadow that refused to lift. The women of Lemnos, in a moment born of desperation and despair, once committed an unthinkable act. Succumbing to the collective outrage over years of neglect and mistreatment by the island's men, they eradicated their entire male population. This decision, drastic and unforgiving, continued to weigh heavily upon their hearts, its reverberations coloring every aspect of their lives. The sea, resounding with the evening winds, murmured the tales of this darkness, as if mourning the souls lost to its depths. Amidst the aftermath, Hypsipyle, daughter of the late King Thoas, rose as a beacon for the women left behind. Assuming the mantle of queen amidst a landscape of broken trust, she strove to instill a semblance of order. Her leadership was a delicate balance of compassion and strength, an endeavor to knit their society back together. Her heart, seeking both redemption and forgiveness, guided the women through the tumult of remorse and renewal. Daily life on Lemnos was an intricate dance of shame and resilience. The women faced each day with a poignant mix of guilt and longing for redemption. Yet amid this endemic sorrow, they found unity and hope. Each morning as the sun broke through the mist, they stepped upon paths of redemption, striving to rebuild a society fundamentally altered by their own hands. Under Hypsipyle's guidance, they crafted a community grounded in integrity and endurance, even as they bore the shadows of their past. Hypsipyle's governance was one fueled by understanding that combined kindness with fortitude. She rallied her people around the notion that healing was possible, and that they could redefine themselves through shared efforts. Her trusted advisor, Aglaia, was instrumental in this task. In one quiet moment beneath the eaves of the council house, Hypsipyle and Aglaia exchanged thoughts on their isle's precarious future. Aglaia's eyes were clouded with memories as she expressed fears for their children's future. But Hypsipyle, drawing strength from her advisor, spoke of the necessity to embrace change and nursed the hope that redemption could sow seeds of peace. This internal transformation was necessary, especially with rumors of strangers on the horizon. The sea, ever a bearer of secrets, murmured of the famed Argonauts, a group of adventurers renowned for their courage and quests. Their approach heralded an opportunity for Lemnos, a potential disruption and a promise of renewal. Hypsipyle perceived this impending arrival not only as a chance for the island to seek redemption, but as a pivot that could alter their destiny. Gathering the women in Lemnos Square, Hypsipyle stood before them with a voice that carried the weight of their shared history and a promise for the future. Acknowledging the heartache etched onto each face, she urged them to look toward the horizon with hope, a salvation that might arise from their own redemption and the bending tides of fate. Her words wove a tapestry of ambition and unity, setting the stage for change as tangible as the evening breeze that caressed them. As dusk settled, with the sky deepening from amber to soft shadows, Hypsipyle found herself gazing at the endless expanse of water. Among her reflections and the island's collective sorrow, Hypsipyle addressed the need for transformation in all its complex facets. She was determined to heal past wounds and forge pathways of reconciliation and forgiveness. The night gently embraced Lemnos, its breezes carrying whispers of the Argonauts and the promise of a new dawn. Hypsipyle's thoughts lingered on the threshold of tomorrow. With unwavering resolve, she moved forward, acutely aware of the weight of her charge. Her heart beat in synchrony with the island's rhythm as possibilities began to unfurl, harmonized with each sigh of the ocean breeze. The Argonauts' arrival lingered like a note in the wind, weaving hope into the dreams and aspirations of an island yearning for renewal. As twilight descended over the island of Lemnos, the sea whispered its secrets to the shoreline, heralding the approach of the Argo. Guided with unwavering resolve by Jason, the ship cut through the gentle waves, driven by the crew's quest for the Golden Fleece. Their hopes were tethered to the promise that this island might provide a much-needed sanctuary and the essential provisions for their journey. Standing at the prow, Jason exuded an aura of determination, balancing the weight of his mission with the sustenance of his men. It was his responsibility to ensure their safety and success as they ventured toward their goal. With Lemnos drawing nearer, his gaze remained fixed on the emerging shoreline, reflecting both hope and resolve, a sentiment echoed by the Argonauts who carried the weight of their epic journey in it. Each line etched upon their faces. On the opposite shore, the women of Lemnos watched with a mixture of curiosity and cautious anticipation. At the forefront stood Queen Hypsipyle, often praised for her compassionate yet firm leadership. She could sense the winds of change accompanying these strangers, and her thoughts entwined with her duty to guide and protect her people. Though their past was marred by turmoil, Hypsipyle saw in the approaching Argo a chance for redemption, a promise disguised in the unknown. Resolved to meet the visitors herself, Hypsipyle descended towards the beach, her presence a beacon of calm and authority. Her heart thrummed with a mix of cautious hope and anticipation. As the Argo drew close, its sails forming a formidable silhouette against the darkening sky, Hypsipyle prepared for an encounter that would weigh heavily on the island's future. When they met, Jason and Hypsipyle shared a moment of mutual respect. Each recognized the burdens the other bore, Jason with the relentless pursuit for the fleece, and Hypsipyle with the pursuit of her people's healing. Their exchange, though brief, hinted at a shared understanding grounded in resilience and leadership, laying the foundation for a tentative relationship built on common ground. The Argonauts, under Hypsipyle's welcoming but cautious gaze, were received with care by the islanders. Uncertainty lingered between them, a delicate dance of curiosity and caution. Despite the shadows cast by the island's history, Hypsipyle's gesture toward hospitality emerged as a beacon of goodwill, an opening to bridge two worlds through understanding rather than fear. Under the shimmering firmament, as night enveloped Lemnos, a council gathered to deliberate the presence of these newcomers. Diverse voices filled the space, reflecting the inner conflicts of hope and mistrust that danced within each Lemnian heart. Here, Hypsipyle's true leadership unfolded. With deft diplomacy, she guided the conversation, ensuring that all concerns were addressed while urging openness to the possible gifts of cooperation. Critical discussions centered around Hypsipyle's leadership deliberations. She balanced her people's protection against the allures of succumbing to fear. While some voices advocated caution, others encouraged engagement, and it was within this delicate discourse that Hypsipyle's vision of reconciliation began to emerge, aligned with the island's aspirations for redemption. Her leadership illustrated the seamless blend of empathy and firmness, her decisions rooted in compassion that served but did not compromise her people's security. This sophisticated act provided the Lemnians a glimpse of a path where historical grievances could transform into a future of solidarity and mutual benefit. The day's deliberations gave way to night's peaceful embrace, subtly narrowing the gap between the Argonauts and the Lemnians. The travelers' presence had grown from mere intrusion into a catalyst for transformation, poised to renew Lemnos' spirit and offer hope for a future less burdened by its past. Resting under a star-speckled sky, both groups found solace in an uneasy peace, knowing that the dawn would usher in new hurdles and chances. In this shared moment, Jason and Hypsipyle foresaw a journey where trust would be carefully nurtured, crafting paths of cooperation and understanding. As dawn approached, Hypsipyle embraced the potential progress that an alliance could bring, a definitive step towards healing past wounds and revitalizing the spirit of Lemnos. As night enveloped the tranquil island of Lemnos, the gentle crackling of a central bonfire heralded a gathering of the Argonauts and Lemnian women. The flickering flames cast a warm glow, creating a space alive with cautious yet earnest efforts to connect two distinct worlds. Here, amidst soft laughter and tentative smiles, lay the nascent potential for trust and mutual understanding. Hypsipyle, the gracious queen of Lemnos, sat among her people, her eyes locking with those of Jason, the charismatic leader of the Argonauts. Their conversation began as a delicate dance of words, exploring the shared burdens of leadership. Jason recounted the Argonauts' arduous journey, marred by trials and driven by ambition. Hypsipyle listened intently, her demeanor exuding a calm resilience honed by years of guiding her isolated island. This initial exchange laid the groundwork for a fragile bridge linking the adventurous spirit of the Argonauts with the solemn duty embraced by the Lemnians. As the evening deepened, the air pulsed with the weight of untold stories. Jason and his men listened raptly to tales of Lemnos, stories woven with threads of past sorrow. The women, under Hypsipyle's wise guidance, unveiled their history, recounting past desperation that led to irrevocable actions. The Argonauts received these revelations with a mixture of reflection and understanding, for these stories enriched their comprehension of Lemnos and its people. Through shared narratives, seeds of empathy took root, promising to blossom into mutual respect and understanding. Hypsipyle's diplomatic skill revealed itself naturally as she navigated these exchanges with grace and foresight. She orchestrated discussions with a deft touch, ensuring an environment of respect and openness prevailed. Her skilled intervention gradually dissolved the tendrils of suspicion encircling both parties, replacing them with a nascent camaraderie nurtured by empathy. Her efforts stood as a testament to the power of compassionate leadership, steering conversations towards harmony. Amidst the Argonauts, emotions formed a complex tapestry. Memories of past regrets intertwined with present hopes, crafting a symphony of sentiments in the night air. Among Jason's crew, some discomfort inevitably surfaced, yet the overarching sentiment evolved into one of acceptance and admiration for the bravery exhibited by the Lemnian women. These women courageously laid bare their past for the promise of a brighter future, inspiring the Argonauts with their courage. In the spirit of emerging unity, activities burgeoning with potential for camaraderie flourished. Under the starlit canopy, a feast was organized, a celebration featuring the joy of newfound companionship. Faces were illuminated by the fire's glow, softened by shared laughter and lively tales exchanged between cultures. Through these simple acts of breaking bread and sharing stories, cultural barriers began to diminish, replaced by threads of trust intertwining the two groups. Embraced by this growing understanding, the women of Lemnos courageously revealed their hopes and aspirations. They spoke of unfulfilled dreams and a future they yearned to shape for themselves and their children. The Argonauts, moved by these honest desires, empathized with the women seeking redemption and a new life unshackled from past shadows. Amidst this fortifying dialogue, Jason envisioned a plan, a vision marrying the strengths of both parties. Recognizing the potential within their budding relationship, Jason proposed an initiative inspired by collaboration. His plan aimed to meld the resources of both communities, rebuilding and enhancing the island, and presenting opportunities for mutual growth. This proposal illuminated the potential benefits their union could reap, met with cautious optimism by the Lemnian women, who saw new opportunities amidst Jason's foresight. As night deepened and stars twinkled above, celestial witnesses to this budding alliance, the Argonauts and Lemnians envisaged a future where their paths converged harmoniously. Around the bonfire, alliances sprouted from gentle exchanges, laughter, and grand plans. The foundation of a fragile but growing trust was laid, built upon simple truths shared among individuals striving for the same ideals. The Argonauts, alongside the Lemnian women, began to explore shared humanity and common hopes, embarking on a transformational journey towards mutual respect. That night marked the dawn of transformational shifts, where hearts opened and minds aligned towards a collective renewal. As the fire diminished and the night deepened, so too did the bonds that formed under Hypsipyle's careful orchestration. With guarded optimism, they set the stage for what was to follow, a partnership fragile, yet built on the stalwart foundation of shared stories and collaborative dreams. As dawn's first light spread gently across Lemnos, Hypsipyle lingered on a cliff, reflecting on the vast expanse of the sea, the very essence of tranquility. Yet the serene view did little to lighten the burdens of leadership weighing on her heart. The woven strands of past mistakes and potential paths for redemption lay ahead, challenging her to steer her people toward a future that captured both hope and healing. The island's history anchored them in the essence of their identity, marked by sorrow yet shadowed by hope. Hypsipyle's journey as queen had been defined by her innate wisdom and compassion, attributes that had guided her through the aftermath of her people's previous actions. The memory of lost lives haunted her like gentle echoes carried by the sea breeze. Gathering her closest advisors, she sought their counsel in subdued sessions filled with earnest discussions. Their faces, etched with the acquired wisdom of years and the genuine desire for change, offered her both solace and strategic insight. Delving into the realm of her reflections, Hypsipyle acknowledged the profound importance of facing past misdeeds directly. Redemption, she understood, was a collective effort, demanding courage and grace to rebuild trust shattered by history. The arrival of the Argonauts introduced potential for transformation, enabling Lemnos to transcend past failures with the deft maneuvering of insightful diplomacy. Yet, despite these possibilities, inviting outsiders came with its own set of challenges, stirring fears buried within her people, endangering delicate alliances, and navigating the treacherous ground of newfound trust. Hypsipyle's thoughts remained anchored to her people's welfare. The women of Lemnos, resilient and driven by hope, had entrusted her with their future, their safety and sense of belonging resting upon her decisions. Weighing these responsibilities, Hypsipyle embraced the opportunity to lead with compassion, a guiding light, both for her subjects and their guests. Determined to forge a plan, Hypsipyle envisioned integrating the Argonauts into Lemnian life temporarily. Her vision encompassed collaboration within daily activities, creating a tapestry of shared understanding and bridging diverse human experiences. Though such union presented unforeseen challenges, the potential for shared rewards gleamed brightly like the approaching dawn on the horizon. Amid the coastal breeze's solitude, Hypsipyle allowed herself a moment of vulnerability. Leadership had demanded unwavering strength, often in isolation. Now, she dared to envision redemption interwoven within Lemnos's fabric, a future where forgiveness was not a distant aspiration, but a tangible reality within reach. The weight of courageous resolve felt both tentative yet transformative, heralding healing's gentle embrace. With golden hues casting the ocean in a soft glow as the sun began its ascent, Hypsipyle considered the path in front of her. Her decision emerged not solely from necessity but from a heartfelt desire to nurture a realm where past failures served as stepping stones toward brighter futures. It was a choice not only for her people, but for herself and the Argonauts, a decision grounded in connection, bridges built through understanding and kindness. Fixed with steady determination, Hypsipyle turned from the sea, feeling her heart resonate with assurance. Although shadows marked the path ahead, the promise of light and redemption beckoned. As Lemnos awakened beneath dawn's gentle embrace, Hypsipyle prepared to lead her people through this new chapter, a chapter infused with resolve and hope, ready to embrace the challenges that lay ahead. As the golden light of late afternoon enveloped the Lemnian village, Hypsipyle and Jason stood poised on the forefront of a new era, contemplating the promise of unity before them. They had jointly conceived a formal agreement designed to solidify an alliance between the people of Lemnos and the Argonauts, a commitment forged in mutual respect and shared goals. Hypsipyle's sagacity paired with Jason's charismatic leadership sparked a vision for a future where the integrated strengths of both peoples would ensure prosperity and peace. The women of Lemnos, emerging from a period of profound isolation and guilt, eagerly embraced this new partnership. Under the warm autumn sun, Lemnian women and Argonauts toiled side by side, restoring fields and mending structures long neglected. Their endeavors were more than mere repairs to the island's infrastructure. They echoed a rejuvenation of the spirit. The sounds of hammers and saws created a harmonious rhythm that resonated across the island, a hopeful testament to their collective labor for a common home. Central to their collaboration was the burgeoning respect and trust that blossomed between the different groups. The Argonauts, seasoned through endless voyages and conflicts, recognized the unwavering resilience of the Lemnian women shaped by adversity and resilience. In sharing their stories, both groups bridged the gap between them, fostering a deeper understanding. The Lemnian women found inspiration in the Argonauts' tales of exploration, while the Argonauts marveled at the strength and wisdom born by the islanders' shared past. Hypsipyle and Jason's leadership was a critical component in steering this growing partnership. They worked meticulously to develop coordinated plans, emphasizing clear communication and resolving conflicts with adept diplomacy. Whenever disagreements arose, echoes of old distrust, they were calmly but swiftly quelled by a common commitment to cooperation and harmony. These new cultural exchanges formed the bedrock of their alliance. The Lemnians introduced agricultural methods and shared local customs, enriching the Argonauts with unique knowledge. The Argonauts, in turn, shared wondrous tales from distant lands, igniting curiosity and camaraderie. This mutual sharing went beyond necessity, evolving into meaningful connections built on genuine interest and respect for one another's histories. As the collaboration progressed, their alliance became a powerful symbol of reconciliation and peace, a potential model for other regions, transcending past grievances in favor of shared aspirations. Overcoming challenges together reinforced their bond, mirroring their intent to transform old enmities into new alliances. Marking this triumph was an evening of celebration. Both communities gathered joyfully, as laughter and songs mingled with the rhythmic beats of drums. Long tables adorned with the fruits of their joint labor, fruits, roasts, and island delicacies, set side by side, symbolized a unity born of diversity. This feast celebrated not only their accomplishments, but also the limitless potential forged in solidarity. Formalizing the alliance transcended historical divides, sowing the seeds for an enduring companionship between the islanders and the Argonauts. Unity overruled their old wounds, laying a lasting foundation for peace and shared prosperity. As the sunset painted the sky with rich colors, a symbol of their radiant future, Hypsipyle and Jason stood in quiet agreement, their hearts full with gratitude and determination to see this union thrive. The celebration continued into the night, with a chorus of hope kindling dreams for a brighter tomorrow and collective endeavors to succeed. Encapsulated by the comforting embrace of twilight, the community was invigorated, ready to embark on a path renewed with creative vigor and confidence. Thus, Lemnos prepared to step proudly into its promising future, its people united and inspired by a brighter dawn. The setting sun cast a warm glow over the open fields near the Lemnian village, as the Lemnians and Argonauts gathered for a sunset feast. This event marked the dawn of new friendships formed through the shared experiences of recent days. Long tables adorned with colorful dishes stretched under a sky ablaze with vibrant hues, the result of a collaborative cooking effort that mirrored the blending of their two cultures. The air was filled with laughter and cheerful conversations, creating an atmosphere of intimacy and unity between the once separated groups. Friendships blossomed as individual Lemnians and Argonauts discovered common ground beyond their differing histories. These newly formed bonds were grounded not in grand gestures, but rather in simple acts of day-to-day cooperation. Shared activities like fishing and crafting allowed members from both communities to learn more about each other's lives and traditions. In these moments, small acts of kindness and understanding laid the foundation for a fabric of trust and camaraderie, transcending initial suspicions. For instance, Demetra, a Lemnian skilled in pottery, found herself teaching Heracles the art of molding clay. Together, they laughed as Heracles struggled yet eventually crafted a unique clay lamp as a token of their newfound friendship. Such interactions became vibrant threads in the tapestry of stories that intertwined the lives of the once disparate groups. At the heart of this emerging bond was the deepening friendship between Hypsipyle and Jason. Despite their different backgrounds, their mutual respect flourished as both leaders recognized a shared vision of peace and cooperation. The potential they saw in merging their group's talents and strengths resulted in a symbiotic relationship beneficial for all. Through numerous discussions and careful deliberations, they nurtured a sense of shared purpose that guided their actions and set a positive example for their people to follow. These conversations often focused on strategies to foster long-lasting peace and prosperity on Lemnos. Hypsipyle was moved by the kindness and capabilities displayed by the Argonauts. Observing their spirit of adventure and determination stirred deeper contemplation within her regarding the future of Lemnos. She began to ponder whether these ties forged in cooperation could evolve into something more profound, possibly leading to enduring alliances that would extend beyond the Argonauts' eventual departure. The potential for such an alliance simmered gently in her mind, a seed of possibility on the brink of taking root. Within the heart of the island, groups engaged in leisurely activities, some taking to the sea for fishing, while others gathered in workshops to share skills and learn from one another. Although these interactions seemed ordinary, they were in fact the building blocks of genuine relationships. Tender moments surfaced amid the work and play, as laughter erupted over shared jokes and stories, creating memories that promised to linger long after the Argonauts had sailed away. Philemon, an Argonaut renowned for his vibrant tales, captivated the children of Lemnos with stories of adventures on the high seas, forming a bridge between diverse cultures. Each passing day saw the distance that once separated the two groups shrink. Hypsipyle observed this transformation with a heart full of gratitude and optimism. Her people, together with the open-minded Argonauts, bridged the gaps left by past actions, creating a foundation of trust and cooperation. Through these newfound connections, Hypsipyle began to envision both personal and political alliances that could fortify Lemnos' position in the wider world. She imagined a network where Lemnos would stand at its center, strengthened by the bonds being formed. Community gatherings became more frequent, celebrations that solidified bonds among the island's inhabitants and their guests. As they shared meals and engaged in heartfelt conversations under the ever-attentive gaze of the stars, hope for a brighter future grew ever more tangible. These gatherings offered a platform for both groups to voice their aspirations, express gratitude, and recognize the strengths each brought to the burgeoning alliance. Sophia, a respected elder of Lemnos, eloquently articulated the potential of a shared future, her words resonating deeply with all who listened. As the night deepened in harmony, the sounds of a connected society permeated the air. The bonds formed were more than simple alliances. They became the lifeblood of a united community, one that had experienced healing and growth through shared experiences. Hypsipyle marveled at the progress from those initial hesitant days, with her people and the Argonauts now embracing the notion of a shared destiny. However, interwoven with the joy of these developments was the awareness that the journey ahead would not be without challenges. Hypsipyle, ever vigilant, foresaw the necessity of fortifying these newly established bonds against forthcoming tests. For now, under the soft glow of the sunset feast, she found solace in moments of laughter and kinship, holding on to the hope these moments signified. As the feast came to a close, the communities lingered, savoring the warmth of the evening and one another's company. Together, they had sown the seeds of a promising future, nurtured by mutual understanding and a collective vision for peace. Although they recognized trials might await them, for this night at least, they basked in the intimate connections they had forged under the serene autumn sky. And though aware these bonds would soon be tested, this reality would guide their journey forward, toward a united future solidified by hope. The bond between the Argonauts and the women of Lemnos had grown stronger over time. An island that once lingered in a haze of regret now shimmered in the glow of newfound harmony. Yet, like echoes from ancient caves, whispers of old grievances began to stir, reminding the islanders of transgressions that refused to be forgotten. The tranquility of the autumn evenings, with the gentle lull of the sea as its backdrop, was abruptly interrupted by the arrival of an outsider, an emissary from distant lands bringing with him unsettling news of the Lemnian women's past. His words moved through Lemnos like a swift gale, igniting flames of anxiety among the people. These whispers of history resonated across the island, casting long shadows that threatened the fragile peace. The Lemnians found themselves confronted with the discomforting truth that their actions, which they had hoped to bury, would invariably resurface, carried on the winds by the strangers' tales from afar. Trust, painstakingly built through earnest conversations and shared experiences, was tested as tensions resurfaced. The Lemnian women, once united in their silence, now faced the stark reality of their past deeds being exposed. Doubts crept into their budding relationships, clouding the warmth established in the wake of the Argonauts' camaraderie. The islanders clung to the hope that their bond with the Argonauts could withstand such strain. Hypsipyle stood firm amidst the unrest, her resolve unwavering despite the growing unease. As queen, she marshaled her inner strength and compassion to address the fears stirring within her people's hearts. Her voice, soothing yet resolute, called for courage and unity in the face of adversity. She reminded her followers that redemption was a path forged through acknowledgement and growth, not denial or evasion. Her leadership, both tender and fearless, became a beacon of hope amidst gathering storm clouds. Hypsipyle's vision was one of a community willing to confront its past to embrace a brighter future. In these turbulent times, Jason took his place beside Hypsipyle, acting as an ally in their quest to sustain peace. His determination fortified the Argonauts' unwavering commitment to support Lemnos. Working side by side, Hypsipyle and Jason exemplified loyalty and resilience, their partnership standing firm under trial. They reassured the islanders that their bonds were unbreakable, and shared history could lead to shared progress. Though trust was shaken, a shared willingness emerged to preserve the trust that had taken root. Community meetings provided a crucial space for dialogue and resolution. As the evening settled over Lemnos, the village gathering hall was filled with the gentle hum of voices. The dim light of flickering candles cast long shadows as residents gathered in preparation for the difficult discussions ahead. There, among the documents laid before the assembled groups, voices rose in a symphony of shared fears and suspicions. Every question voiced was an opportunity to dismantle the walls of mistrust and reflect on a shared tomorrow. Patience filled the room, and slowly they began to navigate the delicate balance between past wounds and a hopeful future. The emotional weight of leadership pressed heavily upon Hypsipyle, a constant presence that both challenged and enriched her strength. Yet, she met each challenge with grace, reminding her people of resilience and transformation. She spoke of a future defined by learning from the past, a promise of renewal rooted in understanding, where mistakes would become lessons etched in their collective consciousness. Her words wove a thread of unity through the diverse crowd, binding them with a vision of a community standing on the precipice of change. Through heartfelt conversations and moments of collective tension, the islanders gradually came to acknowledge the necessity of confronting their shared past. Together, Lemnians and Argonauts forged a promise to embrace the consequences of their histories, sustained by a mutual covenant to face the future as allies. This shared resolve was their bridge towards a path of healing, a testament to their willingness to redefine their legacies, not through erasure, but honest confrontation. As tensions eased, hope blossomed like the first light of dawn. Amidst shadows relinquishing their hold, the island of Lemnos prepared to embark on a new journey of reconciliation and progress. The night embraced Lemnos gently, promising a new chapter filled with potential as it provided a seamless transition into the challenges and resolutions that awaited them. In the aftermath of resurfacing tensions, the inhabitants of Lemnos came to realize the necessity of a journey toward understanding and redemption. Hypsipyle, with her unwavering compassion, initiated earnest dialogues with Jason and the Argonauts. Together, they aimed to transform old grievances into newfound unity. From these deliberations, a series of initiatives took shape, symbolizing collective healing and addressing past misdeeds while fostering bonds across the island. Central to this reconciliation was a symbolic journey led by Hypsipyle and Jason. As leaders, they set out to traverse the heart of the island, engaging individuals in meaningful conversations about forgiveness and shared histories. This journey was not measured in physical miles, but rather in spiritual growth, nurturing an exchange of stories and insights. Through this shared reflection, Hypsipyle and Jason embodied leadership rooted in empathy, determined to mend rifts with sincere intentions. As they embarked on their journey, the air was filled with thoughtful exchanges between Hypsipyle, Jason, and the inhabitants of Lemnos. Conversations delved into the complexities of forgiveness, a multifaceted pathway demanding patience and compassion. Through these dialogues, trust began its gradual rebuild. Small gestures of kindness resonated throughout the community, rekindling connections and enabling personal stories to emerge. These stories, woven with threads of pain and growth, supported the collective process of renewal. The atmosphere was one of healing, as these conversations led to a shared commitment to constructive action. The Lemnians translated their dedication into community initiatives focused on restoring the island's infrastructure and rebuilding communal centers damaged in previous turmoil. Such efforts underscored the power of practical steps in complementing emotional healing, igniting resilience and unity among the people. A critical facet of these collective endeavors was the acknowledgement of past pain and triumphs. Hypsipyle, alongside her people, recognized the significance of ceremonies ensuring closure and renewal. Simple yet profound rituals provided solace to participants, their gentle prayers and songs weaving moments of tranquility and connection. The calm breeze off the sea served as a metaphor for their burgeoning strength, a whispering reminder of redemption, further encouraging reflection on their path toward understanding. Amid these efforts, a newfound strength emerged within the community. The initiative spearheaded by Hypsipyle and Jason cultivated unexpected unity among Lemnos' inhabitants. Participating with humility and respect, the Argonauts reinforced bonds forged during their stay. This unity imbued the community with renewed purpose, both groups joining in shared reverence as sunlight danced across the island, promising transformation and hope. Rowing together on calm seas where the horizon blended seamlessly into the sky, the journey became emblematic of their aspirations. Each stroke depicted steps the community had taken toward healing and understanding. Hypsipyle and Jason, leading the way with unwavering resolve, stood as embodiments of compassion and leadership. Gazing upon the distant horizon, they acknowledged the promise of a harmonious future despite past tumult, a testament to their collective endeavor. Through these serene moments, Lemnos felt the enduring strength of their alliance. Hypsipyle sensed the weight of her leadership transforming into conviction, her way illuminated by the trust they had nurtured. This experience crystallized her identity not merely as a ruler, but as a beacon of hope and redemption. With renewed purpose, the community vowed to continue this journey with dedication, cherishing the quiet strength born from their shared voyage. The gentle transition into the next chapter unfolded as the lessons from their journey fueled aspirations for reconciliation. Hypsipyle's leadership and the community's commitment to understanding created a foundation for the forthcoming trials of reconciliation, promising solidarity and renewal in the face of future challenges. Under a canopy of silver stars, the people of Lemnos gathered along the serene beach, their faces illuminated by the golden firelight of small campfires scattered across the sand. This tranquil setting marked the beginning of an important night, one where reconciliation and mutual understanding were to be achieved. At the heart of this assembly stood Hypsipyle, poised to lead a ceremony that would guide her people and their guests, the Argonauts, into a future free from the shadows of their past actions. As the evening commenced, Hypsipyle stepped forward, her presence radiating a calm yet profound authority. Her voice, gentle yet resonant, wove a tapestry of the island's tumultuous history, a history steeped in loss but also in resilience. Emphasizing the consequences of past actions, particularly the sorrow born from their misdeeds, she painted a path forward intertwined with hope. Each word served as a balm, acknowledging pain yet offering a vision of redemption and renewal. Reflecting on challenges faced and decisions made, Hypsipyle shared her own journey. She spoke candidly about the burden of leadership under the weight of past grievances, the nights spent pondering the right path. Her discourse on personal challenges and growth resonated with many, weaving a thread of shared experience among those gathered. As the ceremony unfolded, individuals from both the Lemnians and the Argonauts began to share personal stories. Each tale, an echo of change and realization, presented insights into struggles and triumphs, binding the group in mutual understanding. Among these stories was one of a long-standing feud between two islanders, a vestige of past conflicts. It was here, under the open night sky, that they spoke openly, their voices raw but sincere, choosing reconciliation over old animosities. In the deepening night, past grievances, once burning fiercely, began to cool. Arguments that had been sharp and divisive were revisited with a newfound willingness to listen and empathize. This atmosphere of respect and understanding paved the way for resolutions carefully crafted with intentionality and compassion. It was moments like these which marked turning points, as forgiveness embraced the community like the gentle sea washing over the shore. Amidst the gathering, Jason rose to speak, his voice carrying the warmth of camaraderie and the weight of leadership. In his speech, he recalled shared experiences, emphasizing the unity and strength found in their trials together. He painted vivid pictures of past trials conquered and moments of unexpected kindness, igniting a collective belief in the power of shared humanity. His words urged them all to build upon the foundations of friendship and cooperation they had so painstakingly crafted. Hypsipyle, standing beside Jason, felt a profound connection to her people and their guests, recognizing the transformative power of the journey she had led. Her heart, filled with a mosaic of relief and resolve, swirled with gratitude for the bonds forged and the lessons imbued. As the ceremony neared its conclusion, she took a symbolic step, scooping a handful of sand and letting it fall gently back to the earth, as a ritual symbolizing letting go of past burdens and embracing renewal. With the closing of the night, the community, now lighter with forgiveness, turned towards the sea. They listened intently to its whispers, the waves speaking softly of renewal and endless continuity. The sea, ever present, stood as a testament to both sorrow and beginnings, becoming a symbol of resilience and hope that would steer Lemnos into its future. In this sacred space, the island's people and the Argonauts pledged their commitment to peace and mutual growth. This collective vow, vast as the sea now reflected in the stars above, carried with it promises of a future inspired by compassion and understanding. As the flames of the campfires flickered softly, the community's unity poured from under Hypsipyle's wise and compassionate leadership, securing a lasting peace that would define generations to come. As the ceremony concluded, they lingered, exchanging quiet words and contemplative smiles, bound together under a sky that held the promise of renewed harmony. Hypsipyle watched them, her heart full of hope and gratitude, contemplating the lessons learned and the paths yet to be charted. This tranquil scene mirrored the island's internal peace and provided a fitting segue into the eventual departure of the Argonauts, deftly concluding their shared journey. As dawn unfurled its golden hues across Lemnos, the atmosphere around the harbor buzzed with a blend of anticipation and solemnity. The Argonauts were preparing to set sail, and their departure stirred a complex weave of emotions among both them and the Lemnians. The bonds formed amidst shared trials and triumphs had left an indelible mark on the island and its people, positioning the farewell with a bittersweet prominence. Hypsipyle stood by the harbor's edge, her gaze steady as she oversaw the loading of supplies onto the Argo. Her heart, a tapestry of gratitude and optimism, also carried the weight of impending separation. These recent exchanges with Jason and his crew had opened up new possibilities for her people and led her to profound introspections. The sea wind whispered lessons of empathy and cooperation, timeless in their importance and resonant with Lemnos's future. Nearby, the women of Lemnos gathered, their faces reflecting a poignant mix of sadness and hope. Through their alliance with the Argonauts, they had found strength and broken free from the chains of past guilt. Now, they looked on, preparing to bid farewell to friends whose presence had spurred a newfound resilience. With gestures and quiet words, they offered heartfelt thanks, encapsulating their determination to harness this renewed sense of purpose. Embracing the emotional spectrum of parting, several women exchanged personal farewells with the Argonauts, exchanging tokens of friendship and promises of remembrance that transcended the spoken word. Their gestures spoke volumes, carrying the weight of connections formed through shared stories and mutual growth. Amidst the harbor's activity, Jason approached Hypsipyle for their final conversation. This poignant moment underscored the powerful alliance forged between them, which had played a pivotal role in healing both their communities. Jason expressed deep appreciation for Hypsipyle's leadership, admiring her ability to inspire harmonious coexistence through genuine compassion. In response, Hypsipyle thanked Jason for his support in restoring trust and pride among her people, saying, "Your presence here has rekindled a light within us, one we shall carry forward with care." This exchange was more than mere words. It was a commitment to maintain the spirit of the alliance, promising future endeavors that echoed their mutual respect. As a testament to their shared journey, a symbolic exchange of gifts unfolded at the water's edge. The Argonauts presented a finely crafted chalice, a token reflecting victories and intertwined stories shared. Hypsipyle offered Jason a woven robe, intricately embroidered to depict both Lemnos' cultural heritage and its aspirational hopes. These gifts stood as emblems of the enduring connections forged during their time together. Dawn's gentle embrace painted the scene in warm light, as reflections on lessons learned permeated the hearts of all present. One of the younger Argonauts, reflecting on his time in Lemnos, shared how the experience had reshaped his perception of leadership and community. His words echoed a sentiment shared by many. They had found more on Lemnos than they had initially sought. Hypsipyle recalled the challenges they had overcome, divisions mended through empathetic dialogue, and the invaluable power of forgiveness. The Argonauts, having tasted the gentle spirit of Lemnos, prepared to carry these insights into the expansive ocean ahead. The Argo, majestic and sturdy, embarked on its renewed voyage, cutting across the golden-hued water with resolve. As the ship slipped from view against the rising sun, the harbor remained a steadfast witness to this journey's promise and hope. Hypsipyle watched the Argo glide into the horizon, her heart swelling with pride and optimism for the days to come on Lemnos. The women of Lemnos stood united with Hypsipyle, their silence a tribute to the courage and compassion they had nurtured. This departure signified more than an end. It marked a beginning, filled with renewed convictions and visions of prosperity. As gentle waves caressed the shore, they echoed farewells and aspirations of these empowered women, who anticipated a harmonious future forged by bonds of understanding and reconciliation. In those moments of quiet reflection, Hypsipyle formulated her visions for the island's future. She envisioned nurturing more alliances and fortifying the peace established through this journey. Internal growth as a leader would guide her people towards a promising new era, rooted in shared values and strengthened by past experiences. Completing the farewells, Hypsipyle shifted her gaze to the open future. Her vision as a leader was invigorated, clear and directed. Despite the bittersweetness of the moment, the island of Lemnos readied itself to stride confidently into a future brimming with promise. The Lemnian women, inspired by their experience, came together in a moment of collective reflection. United by shared challenges and triumphs, they vowed to protect the bonds forged, ensuring the legacy of camaraderie persisted. With the parting of the Argonauts, Lemnos embraced a change both profound and hopeful. As the Argo disappeared from sight, the community turned inward, grounded by the lessons learned through overcoming burdens and embracing alliances. Hypsipyle knew that the legacy of this journey was merely the beginning of a new chapter for Lemnos, marked by resilience and progress. In this place of new beginnings, the women felt a renewed sense of purpose and unity. They stood on the precipice of a brighter tomorrow, driven by the enduring power of compassion, forgiveness, and shared purpose. As the Argo faded into the horizon, Hypsipyle stood at the edge of Lemnos, inhaling the brisk sea air that carried echoes of the Argonauts' visit. Her mind swirled with reflections on the profound changes that had unfolded during Jason and his crew's stay. It was a visit marked by shared stories, mutual understanding, and alliances that promised a brighter future. With a soft murmur, Hypsipyle whispered a prayer to the gods, expressing gratitude for the renewed spirit that now embraced her island. Her thoughts shifted from the past to the journey ahead, a testament to the resilience of the Lemnian people and the vibrancy of alliances yet to be woven. She envisioned a Lemnos that would stand as a beacon of compassion and renewal in the world. Returning to the bustling village center, Hypsipyle joined her advisors to assess the community's evolution. They gathered in a simple wooden hall adorned with woven tapestries of Lemnian lore, each panel telling tales of past triumphs and tribulations. Faces around her wore expressions of thoughtful memory, a testament to the multifaceted story of their people. Her leadership was no longer just about maintaining peace. It was about crafting a vision for a united future. Conversations flowed rich with acknowledgement of the past and aspirations for the future. Hypsipyle's compassionate and wise leadership had earned the respect and trust needed to guide Lemnos beyond its tumultuous history into a future of promise and potential. The ripple effect of the Argonauts' visit was evident throughout the community. The Lemnian women embraced a more open and hopeful outlook, where shadows that once loomed large were replaced by fertile ground for renewal. Trust among them had deepened, fostering bonds that promised a stronger, unified future. These changes were manifest in everyday interactions: the collective laughter at evening gatherings, the ease with which kindness was offered, and the calm that accompanied trust hard-earned. Hypsipyle felt herself undergoing a transformation, an awakening within her very soul. Her role as a leader matured with every challenge and lesson learned, intertwining her destiny with that of her people. Embracing a path illuminated by growth, she considered projects that would ensure continuing progress. In a meeting with her advisors, Hypsipyle spoke of possible new alliances with neighboring regions. With trade and shared goals, Lemnos could foster new relationships, strengthening both ties and economy. Her vision extended beyond maintaining peace. She foresaw Lemnos as an island of compassion and rejuvenation. During the advisory meetings, her voice was decisive and clear as she guided discussions on potential alliances, highlighting what Lemnos could gain and contribute in a broader context. Her leadership inspired the community, igniting dreams and aspirations among her people. A future project ignited particular excitement, a cultural festival aimed at celebrating Lemnian heritage while inviting neighboring islands to participate. Hypsipyle envisioned it as a platform for fostering understanding and camaraderie, a tangible manifestation of Lemnos's commitment to peace and cooperation. This festival would not only celebrate Lemnos's culture, but also symbolize their openness to building a diverse and inclusive future. In memory of their alliance with the Argonauts, several community projects were initiated. The village center was abuzz with activity, echoing with the sounds of construction and cooperation. Together, the people worked on a monument commemorating their transformative journey, not to erase the past, but to acknowledge the journey itself and the strength required to grow beyond it. Walking through the bustling village, Hypsipyle's heart swelled with pride. This community project, tangible and concrete, represented the unity and perseverance of her people, a testament to their past, but more importantly, a hopeful offering for the future. Furthermore, the events and experiences that had shaped Lemnos during this period were meticulously documented. Stories were gathered, both written and oral, ensuring preservation of this chapter for generations to come. These chronicles aimed not just to recount past challenges, but to serve as a guide for future leaders. In preserving their history, Hypsipyle found deep satisfaction. Their story was one of redemption and strength, a legacy carved into the fabric of Lemnos' life. She envisioned these records being a source of pride and education, inspiring future leaders and citizens to embrace the spirit of renewal and hope. Focusing on these reflections, Hypsipyle took pride in witnessing the resilience and progress of her people. Each hardship had paved the way for newfound strengths, and each act of kindness strengthened layers of trust. Watching over the village as the soft evening light painted the sky in shades of amber, she knew challenges would come again, but this time they faced them as a transformed community, wiser and more united. Hypsipyle understood this was not an ending but merely a chapter in the ongoing saga of Lemnos, a tale of compassion and redemption flowing forward with the energy of the sea. Surveying the vibrant village under the mellow gold of dusk, she nurtured quiet anticipation for future generations, who would inherit a story not only of survival, but of thriving. As the evening transitioned into night, Hypsipyle found peace in the enduring legacy she was leaving behind, confident that future leaders would continue to carry the torch of hope and progress, carving new paths for Lemnos in the days ahead. As the sun descended towards the horizon, casting its warm hues over Lemnos, Hypsipyle stood on the cliff's edge, reflecting on the transformations that the island had undergone. The departure of the Argonauts had not marked an ending, but rather ignited a new beginning, a chapter of renewal that continued to ripple across the community. Hypsipyle revisited the pivotal moments of her leadership journey, each choice she made intertwining with the collective memory of her people. Every decision was a thread in the fabric of redemption that now enveloped the island. The islanders felt the serenity that followed their trials, an atmosphere filled with the calm certainty of growth. Under Hypsipyle's compassionate guidance, Lemnos experienced a rebirth. The Argonauts' visit lingered in their minds as a catalyst for change, sparking collaboration and reconciliation. The shared experiences knitted bonds of respect and humanity that became a guiding light for the Lemnians, steering them towards a harmonious future. To honor this renewed spirit, the community gathered for a ceremony of new beginnings. As the sky turned amber with dusk, Hypsipyle's voice rose with grace, her words infused with gratitude and hope, uniting her people. She stood alongside her advisors and community leaders, symbols of the island's transformation. "We stand here as witnesses to change," she began, her tone steady, embracing the lessons learned and the future we will build together. This ceremony signified more than an assembly. It was a profound gesture of renewal. Offerings were made to the sea, tokens of appreciation and aspirations for enduring peace. These tributes, carried away by the waves, symbolized the islanders' commitment to acknowledge their past while embracing future possibilities. Each offering told a story of Lemnos' desire for continual harmony, a blend of respecting traditions and pursuing progress. In the days following the Argonauts' visit, Lemnos embarked on community projects inspired by newfound insights. Initiatives focused on education and sustainable living began to take form, drawing from the energy and lessons shared during the Argonauts' stay. These endeavors aimed to establish Lemnos as a beacon of resilience and innovation, reflecting their strengthened community spirit. Amidst these developments, Hypsipyle often found herself in introspection. Sitting with her advisors, she considered the elements that had forged her path, leadership steeped in compassion, and the undeniable forces of redemption. Her growth, both as a leader and an individual, was woven into the fabric of the island's narrative, enriched by courage and kindness. "What we have achieved is not just survival," she mused during a quiet meeting. "It is a testament to our capacity for renewal." The ongoing impact of the Argonauts' visit punctuated daily life. In conversation, villagers recounted their newfound inspiration, like a fisherwoman who had learned innovative practices from the Argonaut seamen, thereby increasing her yield sustainably. Such stories illustrated the diversified effects of the visitors, fostering a sense of shared growth. As the ceremony concluded under a canopy of stars, Hypsipyle felt a profound sense of gratitude for the restored peace and harmony on Lemnos. Her leadership, drawing strength from unity and understanding, had led the island through a pivotal transformation. The ceremony closed as offerings were gently cast into the sea, a ritual imbuing the island with hopes for sustained peace. The sun, now a soft glow over the horizon, cast long shadows, a sign of not an end, but a promise of dawn full of potential. Revitalized by the journey they had undertaken, the island of Lemnos stood poised for the future, empowered by the knowledge that unity could weather any storm. As the sea whispered tales of unscripted adventures, the island prepared its sails for the journey ahead, bound by a legacy of redemption and compassion, and hopeful for the promise of new horizons.